What's up, everyone? Criddle here, and we finally did get a response from VRCR CEO on yesterday's allegations. This happened last night at 7:20 p.m. Eastern. If you don't know, the allegations were basically that a GM was abusing their powers by spawning in rare NPCs for their guild. That was the accusation. And according to the CEO, this story is completely false. So we're going to go over their statement, and then I'm going to kind of talk about it for a little bit because I still have a few things to say about it. But ultimately, this does resolve the issue, and hopefully we can kind of move forward from here. So the GM is not a member of the guild. So basically, here are the facts, right? According to the CEO, the GM is not a member of the guild. The person who made the accusation was previously removed from the guild. Nothing was spawned for anyone. The logs have been verified. We have restored historical logs from backups and compared them to ensure no log tampering took place. Some members of the guild do some pre-patch testing of the game. No items can be transferred from the test environment to the production environment. When the issue at hand allegedly occurred, a zone reset had just taken place and a rare mob subsequently spawned. People started joking that the GM magically made it happen. He didn't. It was a zone reset. The GM, playing along with the joke, sarcastically used the say command to display the following on screen, which is this command right here. I'm not going to read all of that out, which is the GM command to spawn the NPC, but without the required / character. In other words, the GM said and displayed the phrase that is the command, but did not use the command. Furthermore, this was done after the NPC had already spawned, so the command could not have spawned the NPC. In conclusion, a GM was hanging out with the guild while they were shard hopping to farm rare NPCs, and the GM made a joke about spawning more that had been previously taken out of context by a disgruntled former member. No NPC was spawned. The GM involved has been counseled and the issue and will be taking a break from in-game activities. Pantheon team members have always been close with the community. We enjoy the interactions. Unfortunately, sometimes that can create a perception of favored treatment. We have clear policies in regard to this, but sometimes perception is difficult to dispel. We are reflecting on this conundrum and may make adjustments. Finally, I am told there's concern that there may be a wipe because of this. There will not be a wipe. No items or NPCs were spawned. We have a shadow audit system that tracks every item that is created in-game, including items created by GMs, which was a secret even internally up until this post. I have personally checked the logs and backup logs. There's been no funny business, but I must say the system is tremendously useful for identifying dupers, exploiters, and real money trade gold sellers. So that is the statement that came out, and hopefully that kind of wraps everything up and we can all move on from here. I do have a couple of issues, though. One is completely false. Well, the accusations are completely false, but the overall story is not completely false, as they talked about here. And that is that some of these guild members are part of the pre-patch testing, and they were playing on the production server. Now, they're not playing their characters for the pre-patch testing on a testing server, so they are separate. So that is true. But, you know, some of these things are kind of concerning. So some of these players were testers, right? They're advanced testers that go to the testing server. And then for that GM in question to be joking sarcastically, again, not necessarily something that Visionary Realms representatives should be doing when they are representing Visionary Realms. They can absolutely do that if they're on their own personal characters and they're joking around, hanging out with their friends. But in this case, they were a representative of Visionary Realms. And even here, the CEO even stated a GM was, quote, hanging out with the guild. Again, in my opinion, that should not be happening. I understand that it's fun for the players to be hanging out with the GM and the GM to be hanging out with the players and all that. And there's a great interaction there. I love that the development team wants to hang out with the players. Those kinds of things should be happening on the test environment and should not be happening on the production environment or the live servers. That is, I believe, why we have this statement here of the GM involved has been counseled on the issue and will be taking a break from in-game activities. So based on effectively what happened, a lot of bad things, a lot of things that were just very suspicious, kind of all happened at once, making this perceived view that something more nefarious was happening. And that wasn't the case. So I think that going forward, hopefully this GM has, understood, everybody's involved. It's like, hey, this is just a bad situation. Let's take a step back and let's try to not do this further in the future. Hopefully that is the case. I think it's fun that you can joke around with people and joke sarcastically and have a good time. But when you do that in an official capacity, it could be taken the wrong way. And it was taken the wrong way and escalated by members of the community. So that all said, the members of the community took it a little too far. I feel like the representatives of Visionary Realms all the way over onto even the Discord channel where they had a discourse with the community and they were going back and forth. Call it an argument, call it a debate, whatever you want to call it. None of that should have been happening. The Visionary Realms people, in my opinion, should have just said, hey, thank you for bringing this to our attention. We will take a look at it, and left it at that. The people on the other side, the community, should have said, hey, here's what happened. Can you please take a look at it? And then left it at that. But it was the going back and forth that caused it to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that got us to where we ended up with a CEO having to make this statement. Anyway, hopefully going forward, this kind of situation doesn't arise again. But that is basically what happened there. Now, I do want to also talk about, though, down here at the bottom. Finally, I am told there's a concern of this causing a wipe effectively, and there will not be a wipe. I think that this is another one of those miscommunication things. I don't think, or at least in my opinion, no one was concerned that this particular interaction with the GMs and the players is going to cause the wipe. I think the wipe situation is because of the duplicate corpses that were happening, and people were duplicating items through corpses. It happened to a friend of mine. He didn't intentionally do it, but he died and it duplicated his corpse. And he could have, if he wanted to, picked up more items and basically got double his gear back effectively. He also said that he thinks that he could have rezzed his character more than once to get get all of the XP back and continue to do that. So that is, I think, the issue where the wipe may have been concerned. I hope that a lot of people aren't doing this, but if you are doing that, please, please, please don't do that, because that is what, in my opinion, could cause the wipe. That all said, we are now, right now, as of the creating of this video, we're down for a patch. So the login servers are going down. This is at noon today. It is now 1 o'clock today. So the patch may actually be over at this point. But the patch is to address the shadow issues, crashing, and corpse issues. Those corpse issues are the duplicating of the corpses, which is duplicating all of the gear on them. Hopefully this does resolve a lot of the crashing issues. I do know, for example, I was killing feralings over in Mad Moor with my group last night, and several members of my group were constantly crashing. I mean, it was like every 5 to 10 minutes, somebody in my group was crashing, and it was causing, just a delay and everything. It was not fun gameplay. And we ended up, stopping early last night, and the game was just basically unplayable. So hopefully this does resolve that issue. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully this resolves everything, that we were talking about yesterday. Going forward, my final takeaway on this whole thing is, going forward, let's all try to be respectful of each other. That goes for everybody on both sides, both, Visionary Realms team. I obviously have no say in what you all do over there. That's your business. But on the community side, let's just all be nice to each other. We're all here to make this game amazing. I want the game to be amazing. I think you all want the game to be amazing. So let's all try to work together and not point fingers and throw out accusations. If we see some funny business going on, report it. Let people know and let them deal with it on their end the way that they're supposed to do that. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I will be streaming more of this game as usual over the next however long we are in early access, and then once it goes into 1.0. So definitely come over to my Twitch channel and say hello. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.